crowd on hand. CC is ready. Brian Roberts is ready. And let's do it here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the pitch is outside, and we are underway.
CC Sabathia making his 31st start. 29-year-old, had a heck of a year that he's having. 16-7. Could run out here with 4 starts, maybe win 20 games. 179 hits to the 206 innings. Very good hits to innings ratio.
The 1-0. There's a strike.
Take a look at the Jeep pitcher Scatterport. Well, I said tearing it up. He's 6-0 in his last 8 starts with a 2.31 ERA. And sit out. How about that? 68 strikeouts over his last 8 starts in 58 innings. That's phenomenal. And room on the mantle? Well, who knows? We talked about it. Maybe he's got a shot for his 2nd Cy Young Award.
Soft ground ball to short. Jeter. And a nice backhanded scoop by Teixeira. 1 away. One down. That's going to bring up Cesar Izturis. Didn't play in yesterday's game. 3 for his last 12, 5 for his last 31. Sabathia in his last 8 starts has been off the charts. 6-0, 2.31, 68 strikeouts in 58 1/3 innings. Now, we all know his story from last year when he was traded from the Indians to Milwaukee and just was dominant. Dominant is probably the best word to use. They couldn't hit him. Well, in the first half this year, he was 8-6, 3.86. In the second half, he's 8-1 with a 2.65 ERA. He gets better as the season moves on. Ground ball up the middle. Jeter. 2 outs. Time to look at the game time weather conditions presented by our good friends at Bigelow Tea. 77 degrees, 68% humidity, not much wind. And for the first time in a couple of days, the forecast is for mostly clear skies.
Beautiful day compared to the last few, right, Michael?
This is lovely out. It's good to spend this day with you.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Lovely Sunday.
Were you just channeling Bobby Darin there? Or?
They play that song up here, up on the beautiful Jumbotron here at the stadium.
Here's Nick Markakis. And Sabathia deals. 0-1.
Nick Markakis. Here's a guy all fields. I mean, you talk about equitable distribution. This guy is a 300 hitter. He'll hit as many hits to left field, center, and right. The nucleus. Well, this Oriole team has been abysmal for the last several years, but he is part of this nucleus that the Orioles are looking forward to. And on and off the field, this guy's a good guy everywhere around. He's won the Clemente Nominee Award for the Orioles, a Heart and Hustle Award, and was awarded with a 6-year extension. Every year puts out a nice year for the Yankees, or for the Orioles, and I think they have a lot to look forward to him and Brian Roberts, a couple young players that are starting to develop.
The 1-1. Chop foul. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. And the 1-2. Oh, nice stab there by Sabathia. Knocked it down, recovers, and a nice stab by Teixeira. As Sabathia works a 1-2-3, 9-pitch first inning. Hot shot up the middle by Nick Markakis, but Sabathia knocks it down, steps on it, then finds it and makes the final out. Yankees coming to bat. back in the lineup after having his back stiffen up the last couple of days. Mark Teixeira is at first, Alex Rodriguez at third. Hideki Matsui will bat fifth, he'll DH. Jorge Posada will catch. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, bats seventh. Nick Swisher, great numbers against Guthrie in his career. He'll play right field, batting eighth. Batting ninth and playing center field is Melky Cabrera.
30-year-old Jeremy Guthrie, right-hander for the Baltimore Orioles. There you see his numbers. This will be his 29th starts. Come around lately with the 10 and 13 with the 4.96 ERAs coming down. Few too many hits per innings.
So Jeter digs in, and Guthrie deals up and in.
Take a look at the Jeep pitcher's kind of. I said better of late. His last 4 starts, he's 3-1 with a 1.33. Very good. His only loss has been to the Yankees. It bombs away. 30 home runs, his second most in major leagues. A great looper. And the thinking man. He was a #1 pick in 2002 out of Stanford University. And sometimes he outthinks himself. He does some things backwards and tries to trick hitters, and it ends up hurting him.
Did you like to think on the mound?
I like to think about what I wanted to do and the pitch I wanted to throw with conviction, and then become just that was the moment. When you say about thinking too much, there's guys that'll end up out thinking themselves as to whether it was the right pitch, or you see a sequence in a bat swing and go against what you think is the right pitch. I mean, and in other words, if you're going fastball away and you see Derek Jeter here pulling off a little bit and he's missing it, you say, well, let me try inside here. Let me throw a sinker in there. Let me throw, or if he's late, fouling the ball off down the right field line, then you throw a breaking ball. That's outthinking yourself, because you're trying to use your whole repertoire, as opposed to read the bat, read the batter. See, these are emergency hacks right here from Derek. Good defensive swing for him because he's in a bad count. I always thought in these situations here, breaking ball potentially is dangerous for a guy that's shortened his swing, because all he's going to try to do is hit the ball to right center.
And the 2-2. Ground ball through for a base hit. Leadoff single for Jeter.
Well, when you're batting .330 coming in as hot as Derek Jeter's been, this is his swing. Look at just a little kind of a hockey cricket kind of swing. Doesn't finish all the way, just makes contact. And how often do you see the ball going to the right side just out of the outstretched reach of Brian Roberts? What a year that Derek Jeter's having.
There's Johnny Damon. Back locked up on him earlier this week and missed a couple of games. But Joe Girardi said, I knew he was okay because he grabbed the bat yesterday during the late innings, and that's kind of a ball player's subtle way of saying, hey, I can play. Fly ball, left field. Reimold is there. And there's one away.
Yeah, they'll have to watch Johnny closely. And even though he says he feels better, he hit off the tee yesterday and just kind of getting the feel as to whether he can get through it. But obviously a veteran guy like that, they never like to sit out often, especially here down the stretch.
That single by Jeter, incidentally, was his 190th of the year. 10th time in his career he's done that. And that ties him with Stan Musial for third most all time. Pete Rose did it 13 times. Ty Cobb 12. Now 0-2 to Teixeira. Keeping Jeter close. Yesterday, Jeter led off with the single. The Yankees played ABC ball. He stole second. Jerry Hairston sacrificed him to third. And then Mark Teixeira hit a sac fly to drive him in.
Well, any time. Oh, I guess. Barely nicked him, I guess, on the front side. 0-2 count. Jeremy Guthrie trying to come up and in. Oh, let's see if he actually got grazed here. Could have been some pretty good acting there. I couldn't tell. David Tremblay, are you sure? Well, Teixeira had some pretty good acting skills there if he didn't get hit, because it was convincing enough for home plate umpire Marty Foster.
And that one's foul back.
I mean, just from those few replays that we showed, I didn't look at that. That's a nice. And they'll obviously Marty Foster saw the reaction of Mark Teixeira. If he didn't get hit, that's some good acting right there, Ted.
The 0-1. Alex Rodriguez made a great play over the shoulder yesterday in foul territory, and he looked about as happy as I've seen him look since he's a Yankee, and that's with walk-off home runs and 2 MVPs. And I said, I've never seen you happy. He said, I never was happier than that moment. He goes, I even told Gina to watch the replay on the scoreboard. It was that good.
Really?
A little bit happier right now as he drills one to left center field. It splits the gap and goes to the wall. Jeter scores. Teixeira is held up at third, and Alex Rodriguez with an RBI double. Yankees lead 1-0.
After missing early part of the season, fastball down the zone, head down, gets the barrel of the bat to it, drives it. Nice hitting here, able to get through the ball. This is 84th RBI on the season, pushing toward that 100 RBI plateau. Good hitting, just with a ball off of his bat. There's certain plays where it just sounds different, and it really does off of Alex Rodriguez. He's strong, and his approach most of the time is just right there.
'84 ribbies for A-Rod. Grounded right back to Guthrie. Big out for him. Now A-Rod's happy with the double, and the RBI, but I don't think he's happier than he was yesterday on that pop-up down the left field line in foul territory. Take a look at this play, and then look at the smile on his face. A-Rod said, I told Derek, watch it. It was really good.
Well, opening NFL football Sunday, looking like a back corner end zone catch. That would be considered hot right there. The 6 home runs, 19 games.
There's a strike. Posada's hitting .320 this year with runners in scoring position.
Down 0-2 right now. This is defensive mode for any hitter. Guthrie's got him in a position where he can expand. But those numbers, .320, Posada still feels as though the pitcher's in trouble.
One nothing Yankees just underway here at the stadium. And Posada swings and misses, so the Yankees waste an opportunity to really put some distance between themselves and the Orioles. But they get 1 run on 2 hits and 2 men left after 1 inning of play. 1-0 Yankees lead. You'll deal around with 6 bagels for only $3 at Dunkin' Donuts. The perfect way to please the whole gang. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary, plus applicable taxes. Limited time offer. Al?
Are you a bagel? You like bagels?
Love bagels. Nice. Here's one for you.
What else you got? That cinnamon raisin.
Sesame seed for me.
Let me do. Is this whole wheat? I need.
Here's some kind of bran. I think that's good too.
Bran.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's count them. That's 5, 6. Why do I have 4 on my plate? It looks like onion rings right now.
One.
And again, that's $3 for all that. That's not bad.
Wow.
Yeah, great deal. So thank you to Dunkin' Donuts. Nolan Reimold leads off. Yankees lead 1-0. And there's a strike. Also, Al, the people at Dunkin' Donuts brought us up loads of donuts too.
Coffee?
See, now you're pushing.
It's good coffee too.
The 0-1. Grounded softly toward third. Alex Rodriguez charges. Reimold's too quick. I mean, Reimold's playing with a slightly injured Achilles and playing through the pain. And twice now he has beaten out ground balls in this series. And that was some hustling down the line.
He is a hustle gamer type player. And you look at his size, Michael. He's a big guy. He's got 8 stolen bases. But you're right. The only play here was for Alex Rodriguez to cut off Jeter to make it even close. But watch him out of the box here. Just quickly realize any chopper off of that bunting circle or home plate, these hitters can sniff a hit. Good hustle.
Pitch to Wigginton is out of the zone, 1-0. Wigginton 5 for his last 11, has a 3-game hitting streak. And there's a strike.
Talking about a gamer, Ty Wigginton, who I played with a little bit with the Mets, and he's really put in a nice career at 23 home runs at Houston. Last year he had 24 with Tampa. I asked him about his power, and he said, you get into mindset. I mean, Camden Yards is considered a home run stadium field, but you start thinking about it. And part of it is it becomes more mental.
Line drive, right field. Cutting it off is Swisher. Gets the ball into second. Moving to third is Reimold. And the Orioles are set up first and third, nobody out.
Well, that's a good line drive approach off of CC. That ball was supposed to be inside, up, out over the plate, but enough for Ty Wigginton to go the other way, just fighting it off. And that's the approach that these Oriole hitters, knowing what CC Sabathia brings to every start, how you would approach a dominant guy. Make it, hopefully, for the Orioles' sake, that if he makes a mistake, you get maybe one opportunity at bat at best, and you got to take advantage.
There's Matt Wieters. Yankees play the infield back. They want the double play. They'll give up the run. They lead 1-0. And the pitch outside. CC Sabathia has made 11 starts under the sun, and he's 3-3 with a 4.22. At night, 19 starts, 13-4, 2.94. And it just seems like pitchers like pitching better at night. I guess it's more of a routine, because even Andy Pettitte, his night-day splits are not very good.
Toward that. What do you mean by Andy Pettitte?
Andy Pettitte is also struggles in the day, and I mean, these are 2 veteran pitchers that struggle in the day, pitch better at night.
It really is, Michael. It's so, for a starting pitcher, it's all about routine. And in order for a pitcher to have consistency on the mound, I believe you absolutely have to be consistent with your routine. And a lot of times you'll talk to a young pitcher, I'll say, what do you do the next day? Or, what's your third day routine? How long do you throw? And it deviates. And some guys, because of that, how do you expect to have consistency on the mound right here with this pitch if you're not consistent in between?
And he walks Wieters on 4 pitches to load the bases.
CC's coming on an extra day's rest, which at this time of the year, any pitcher's grateful for it. You usually have a little bit of a, not a dead arm, but you could really use the extra day, and that 5 days rest of the season is 5-1 with the 3 ERA, which is very respectable.
Now here's Justin Turner, picked up his first big league hit on Friday. Actually, it was on Saturday morning. And there's a strike.
First big league hit in Yankee Stadium, even though that long rain delay, it was late, as Michael said. Certainly not a day he'll never forget. Long Beach, California.
Was not in the original lineup. A late addition after Melvin Moore got scratched. Shattered back and a ground ball to Cano. He gets one on to first. Not in time. Run scores. Game is tied. So an RBI, the first big league RBI for Turner.
Well, Cano makes a gallant effort here, but once that bat was shattered, it was slowed the ball down enough. Derek Jeter makes a good turn, pulls up to share it off slightly. I don't believe he would have got him anyway. Turner was getting down the line pretty quickly.
So that'll bring up Moeller. Yankees still have the double play in order, first and third with one out. Each team with 2 hits, each team with 1 run. Now this is where it got away from AJ yesterday. Gave up the leadoff home run to Reimold, and then things unraveled. You don't want the big inning to happen, and that's what CC's trying to avoid. Lined into center field. Melky makes the catch. Tagging is Wigginton. And he's going to score. So a sac fly for Moeller, and now the Orioles lead 2-1.
Moeller just getting a pitch up in the zone. A veteran catcher, back up, done a nice job in his career. Played a little time with the Yankees. Got a sac fly situation and took advantage of the high fastball.
Here's Jeff Fiorentino. Now Moeller's been a good soldier for the Orioles. He knows he's here to tutor Matt Wieters on how to become a big league catcher. But he's also having a decent season, hitting .276. He now has a ribby in 4 of his last 5 games. And he has 8 hits in his last 12 at bats, so getting some playing time. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did, said Wally Beldacucci.
A little slider. Fiorentino couldn't lay off of it. That power slider combination for CC, very tough for left-handed hitters.
Missed outside. Missed again in the count 2-2.
You had a good look at that, Michael. You'd see the reaction of a hitter, and Fiorentino took the fastball away, and there as he tracked that slider, wasn't going for the bait there down and away. See if CC want to bust him inside here, fastball.
And the 2-2. Ripped to right field. It's a base hit. Cutting over a swisher. Cuts the ball off before it goes to the wall. And he will hold Fiorentino to a single as Turner moves to third. So a rough second inning for CC Sabathia.
I'll tell you, I was thinking right along with Posada. There you see the glove. It just ended up leaking a little bit more middle of the plate. But it was the right idea. Anytime you see a lefty, took the fastball away, tracked it, and then the slider, he just kind of saw it all the way. So trying to come inside, that ball cut just a little bit, enough for Fiorentino to get the barrel of the bat on the ball. Good hitting. Usually that up and in zone for left-handers is a weakness. It's got a little too much of the plate for CC's liking.
And here's Brian Roberts. Brian grounded out to short in the first. So CC had a 9-pitch first inning. And he's doubled that right now for the second. 18 pitches so far. Grounded to third. Alex Rodriguez will go the short way, gets the force at second, and that'll do it. But the Orioles take the lead. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men are left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Time to take a look at this moment in Yankees history, sponsored by Mercedes, your Mercedes-Benz tri-state dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. September 13th of 1927, the New York Yankees, Murderers Row, swept a doubleheader from the Indians to clinch their 5th American League pennant in 7 seasons. Robinson Cano jumps on the first pitch and lines it to right field for a single.
Another one of the Yankee hitters having a very good year. 315 coming into today's game. Fastball down the zone. Looked like it was below the knees. Just a nice, sweet swing from Robinson Cano. Hits the ball when he's right where the pitch is thrown. That ball's down the middle. Good line drive approach.
Here's Nick Swisher. 8 for his last 27. There's a strike and count 1-1.
Hey, Swisher, when asked, the little bit of a hangover effect of the Derek Jeter moment, and then how the guys get up for pushing, and he said, no way, what we've done from spring training on, that we're all possessed to want to do what we've set out to do, and that's get to the postseason and win a championship. And I agree with him, and there's too many great players here to not stay focused on that, and obviously with their record being best in baseball and wanting to continue to not assume anything, even though with the 7.5 lead over the Red Sox, but wanting home field advantage throughout.
Now, it's all the right things to say, but human nature would almost indicate that there's going to be a letdown. There was a letdown in '98 when they won 114 games. There was such a letdown in September that Joe Torre had to have a meeting in St. Pete at Tropicana Field and air them out. You guys got to better wake up. Otherwise, all this is going to mean nothing. If you have a big lead, there's going to be a natural inclination to let down just a little bit. Even though you say you won't, you will.
I agree, and I think the letdown is justified to some degree of what you just said.
Grounded to first. There's one. On the first, it's a double play.
But a prolonged letdown, for it to be, a malaise of longer than a short period of time, then that's when you have a problem. I just think that the Yankees are just too talented than most of the teams they play. I think that will prevail.
No, I don't think they're having a letdown. No, I think they're having a mini letdown. Now, tomorrow's starters, brought to you by Verizon Fios. This is Fios. This is big. Jared Weaver, you got to be up for him, 15-5. And Jabba Chamberlain will probably go 4 innings tomorrow. Our coverage starts at 6 with the BP show. 6:30 pregame, 7:07 first pitch. I just think there's a little bit of a letdown now to these 2 games after the Jeter stuff. And although Joe Girardi says, hey, listen, that was a personal goal, there was an electricity in the stands. The games had a buzz to them that they don't have right now. And they're just better than the Orioles. They were beating up on the Orioles all year. They'd won 10 in a row. All of a sudden, they lose 2 straight.
I give you that, yeah, and the weather and, other factors, but there's no doubt. I mean, if coming in facing the Orioles, 58 wins.
High fly ball, shallow left center. Fiorentino makes the play for the final out of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left. A 9-pitch inning for Jeremy Guthrie. We go to the third. It is time for the Toyota text poll. Today's question is, who's the best second baseman among the Yankees' American League East rivals? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Number 1, Brian Roberts. Number 2, Dustin Pedroia. Number 3, Ben Zobrist. Number 4, Aaron Hill. Now that we see that poll, I mean, you throw in Robinson Cano. That's got to be the best second baseman of any division in baseball.
The big surprise there, Ben Zobrist. He was kind of a utility guy, played all over the place, solidified second base until Aki Iwamura came back. Yeah, that's an impressive 5, including obviously Robinson Cano.
And the pitch to a short says a strike on the Modell scoreboard. It's 2-1 Orioles. Here in the top of the third, and Modell's, of course, Al, you know this, is the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees.
Of course. Great Modells.
Now bat.
Cesar Torres, I mean, he's always known for his slick fielding and great glove, but offensively, they're really happy with what he's done. And, he's obviously not a home run guy, but he's held his own.
They had 6 shortstops last year, so finally some stability.
And he's hit enough.
Shattered bat, popped up. Cano puts it away for the first out. Well, there's a shot on the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. Situated in center field at the new Yankee Stadium, the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Mohegan Sun, a world at play. I was actually at the Mohegan Sun a couple weeks ago.
Out there?
No.
Oh,
the actual Mohegan Sun.
Yeah. How was it?
In Uncasville. It was very good. And I was on an escalator getting ready to leave. And right in front of me, Kurt Schilling and his wife.
Wow.
Yeah, brushed with greatness. His sock was all bloody. No, I didn't say a word. He had a sweat sock on. It was bloody. It was awful. That might be running.
Did you go up there and put a few on the craps table?
I went up there to see Barry Manilow, and then I lost some at blackjack. That one is driven deep to center field. Going back is Melky Cabrera, and he makes the play up against the wall, taking an extra base hit away from Nick Markakis.
Off the bat right away, straightaway center. Farthest point in this stadium, obviously right along the line. You see Melky tracking the ball all the way.
Trying to take a look at the IOTB HD Super Shot.
There it is. The super shot and a super moment. Great play, Melky. He'd track it all along. It was just a matter of was there enough real estate? There was.
Here's Nolan Reimold.
So how was Barry Manilow?
Now, I do want to make one thing clear. It was a birthday gift for my sister.
Okay.
All right, so it wasn't like I drove up to Uncasville to see Barry Manilow.
You wouldn't do that.
No.
So you like him, but yeah. I get it.
If
Yeah,
I
you go to the
go
Garden.
to his concert, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he was okay.
Do you spend the whole weekend or just the concert?
Spent the night. Are you a big Barry Manilow?
I do. Yeah, I like it. I made it through the rain a few times.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Friday you did. 2 rain delays. That one is driven out to right center field. Another long run for Melky Cabrera on the track. He's got the plate off the wall. And Reimold is at second with a double.
Reimold. 2 at bats here. The ball middle, kind of out over the plate, slicing away from Melky. This ball hitting about halfway up the fence there. What an approach, and him about the glass there. Good carom to Melky. That may have been a triple had it not got right back into his hand there.
Here's Ty Wigginton.
Let's see, but Posada setting up away. Good location. I look down or away. Look at his eyeballs looking right at the pitcher. They really like this young man. He's leading All-American League hitters and home runs. On base percentage. You can see why. That's a good approach, and that's a heck of a swing right there.
There's a strike.
Got 8 home runs. Off, I mentioned it about talking to Ty, and just said, you know, it gets in your head, you know, you've got better power, and you start thinking about hitting home runs. And anytime a hitter starts thinking about that, you muscle up and don't relax enough to really just allow the barrel of the bat and hands to the ball to do the work for you. End up forcing it. So, quick visit from Jorge. Reimold at second base, and you know, there's a moment, you know, obviously 2-1, it's early enough, but you just still want to be on the same page and end up going 1-0 fastball to the changeup. Maybe it's a matter of disagreeing on the pitch there.
And the count 2-1.
That's the combination of watching CC. There are 14 balls, 25 strikes. Good ratio. Just get a few too many hits and a walk in there. As effective his changeup has been. Fastball changeup combination to the right hand. Two fastballs away through the 1-0 fastball to the changeup. Now he's two fastball putting in a fastball count. Let's see if he goes with something off speed here.
Another fastball outside, so I don't know if he was walking Wigington unintentionally, intentionally, but Wigington does get the walk. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
I can't imagine Michael with 2 outs, even though the runner at second base, unless he feels better with.
Might feel better with Wieters. Although he walked Wieters his last time out.
Just off enough. Obviously, his command just had the 2 walks now and missing in the location. But this is early on where well, let's see here. Dave Olney coming out. If he doesn't see anything, maybe there's something mechanically that Dave Island has seen in his delivery. I mean, there are games where you for whatever reason, I mean, you said about his day-night splits.
Right.
What were they?
3.86 in day 4.22 at night 2.94.
Yeah, and early on there is that little bit of a trying to find it kind of thing, and right now this is what it looks like. CC is off just enough. Velocity wise he's fine.
Keeps missing outside the righty batters in the count 2-0. Wieters is just 184, 7 for 38 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year.
It's ever so slight for a pitcher to be, hitting your spots, making that quality pitch, that big league front end Cy Young type stuff.
Just missing off that side. What's that mean, Al? If he's
chasing
missing
it
outside.
Your body's out in front, Michael, and he's chasing it. What means like your head is leaving before you're allowing your arm to get up on the backside to where you get a better finish. Because your body's out a little bit, your arm drags, and now you end up either darting it or pushing the baseball. Stay back. Ride the back leg. Get your arm up. There you go.
Just nifty outside corner there. In the count now full 3-2. The runners will start on 3-2 and 2 outs. Punch the other way, and they'll do it again.
Get back in the count, the 3-2. Pitch count rising here in the 3rd inning. Good ball strike ratio, but want to keep that number down.
Reimold at second. Wigington is at first. And the rookie Matt Wieters at the plate. Runners go. 3-2. Sharp one right at Jeter. Stays with the short hop. And they retire Wieters, hit the ball right on the screws for the final out of the 3rd. No runs ahead, no errors, and 2 men left. Nice play by Jeter, and the inning was the 2nd out with Nick Markakis driving Melky. Well, with the Yankees nearing the playoffs, you'll not miss another inning with live Yes Network games on your PCs and laptops. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet who watches Yes, log on to YesNetwork.com, Yankees.com, or Verizon.net/yes to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Derek Jeter will lead off. He has one of the Yankees' 3 hits. Leadoff single in the first inning and scored the Yankees' run. On the Modell scoreboard, 2-1-0s. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. One more run for Derek, and it'll be 100 runs for the 12th time in his career. And that will surpass Babe Ruth for the second most seasons in franchise history, and only Lou Gehrig had more, and that would be 13. So one more run scored for Derek to have 100 on the season. Punch the other way, it's a base hit. And it goes into the corner, played out there by Markakis. Jeter's going for 2. And the throw is over the head of Roberts, but backed up by Turner. Jeter 2 for 2.
Just the hits keep on coming. 27th double. Even look at his front hip is out, but he's got the ability to keep his hands back. Watch his hands stay back so long. His front side could be spent, but by that whole right center field approach, that's why I think it's so hard for him to stay in prolonged slumps. Because of this. This is difficult to do. He's in a defensive count mode as he was in his first at bat. Watch his hands stay back long enough. That ball's on the corner, maybe even off the plate a little bit. Great hitting.
Johnny Damon takes low, 1-0. 27th double of the year.
Just his best year, you think? Overall?
A couple of years ago, he had a great season.
340.
Yeah. This might be his best season when you add in, I think it's one of his best seasons defensively. High drive, right center field. Giving chase Fiorentino. He's on the run, on the track, and he makes the play. Jeter tags and will move to third. An outstanding play by Jeff Fiorentino.
Oh my, this ball up in the zone, a hang changeup. Fiorentino on his horse, eyes it. Great timing, great play. Watch, he's tracked here. Now it's just a matter, they feel the dirt, the difference between the grass and the dirt makes them realize they're about 10-12 feet before the wall. Great play, but also too, Derek Jeter, this is a situation where knowing that if he misses it anyway, he's going to score, there's a good chance. And the fact that there's nobody out, nice base running by Derek Jeter tagging up there.
And Teixeira dribbles one slowly up the first baseline, keeps rolling, and Guthrie gets the out. Guthrie took a chance fielding that ball. Might have kicked foul, but picked it up and then was able to thread the needle over the shoulder of Teixeira to get the out.
Smart move by Jeremy Guthrie. You got the big hitter in Teixeira. You don't know what the at-bat's going to be. You want this out as quickly as you can. He's trying to keep that ball inside. The only reason why he winced was because he had to throw it over Teixeira's head as opposed to moving inside. Hurry up, keeping that ball fair. Little hops, hoping that he didn't throw it over Ty Williams' head.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, RBI double in the first.
He's in a good count right here. This would be a nice hit from Derek Jeter with 2 outs. Yankees having something going on here, and maybe obviously a 2-out hit with runner at third base is big. Let's see if Guthrie goes right after Alex or pitches around him.
Goes after him on the 2-0, and the count now 2-1.
Only 211. 19 at bats. Well, now 20 at bats. Actually, the 211 goes up. He's 5 for 20. 1 home run of those 5 hits.
Matsui's on deck. And the 3-1 pitch. So essentially pitching around Alex Rodriguez, and he'll take his chance with Matsui.
You know, and once Guthrie got in a bad count, even though it was only the 211 batting average, obviously Alex Rodriguez did some damage. You still have the opportunity that with the 2 outs, open base, okay, if he swings up my pitch, we can. If not, I'll start over at Matsui, and that's what he did.
So first and third for the Yankees with 2 outs. They trail 2-1, bottom of the 3rd inning. Matsui tapped back to the mound in the first. Guthrie deals. Guthrie essentially is the ace of the staff. Brian Mattis pitched well yesterday, and that's going to be his last start. They're going to shut him down because they don't want him to go over a certain amount of innings as well. And what a way for him to go out pitching so well here at Yankee Stadium. Popped up. Turner in foul territory will make the play for the final out of the inning. So the leadoff double by Jeter wasted. No runs ahead. 2 men left. Go to the 4th. 2-1 over. Well, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. CC Sabathia made his Major League debut on April 8th of 2001 against the O's. Which current Yankees teammate was in the O's lineup that day? We can figure that out. Let's see if Sabathia straightens himself out. Rough second. Some trouble in the 3rd. And there's a breaking ball strike to Turner. 2-1 Orioles lead. Who's in the Orioles lineup that day? Got it. The 1-1. Foul back. What was the perfect day to pitch on, Al? Hot, cool, cold?
warm. How about that? Did you say warm?
Hot, cool, cold.
Cool, warm, cool. Warm day. This would have been great right here. Beautiful, just enough. You want a little sweat. You get a better grip on the ball, and you know, it's just better for the muscles, and you loosen up, and just better have a little sweat. So cold is that not good. And then hot, obviously, you're the only one out there really exerting constantly with the effort of throwing the ball, so that could be a problem. It's a beautiful day all the way around.
Grounded to third. A-Rod. Well, the Orioles getting down the line, so Turner picks up a hit.
Some nubbin hits right here. Had a one previously. A-Rod kind of went to his right a little bit and then came in, and that little movement may have cost him a hit, or allowed him to get a hit. Turner, little banger off the ground as Fiorentino did, busting down.
Now, Al, last night, as I was prepping for the game, I knew I was going to ask you that question. I broke down all your starts. And your best month by far was June, 35 and 18, 3.51. That's usually pretty hot.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah.
Marlins a couple years. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I like the hot. Here, yeah.
You have a lot of conviction about this, it seems.
I know cold isn't good, and not just because it's cold, but to not get a grip on the baseball is a bad thing for obvious reasons.
But you pitch beautifully in postseason games.
Yeah, but October isn't as cold as April.
Really?
Really?
No, I think we should have a Toyota text poll on that. I believe October is colder than April.
There's some cold April days. Matter of fact, I pitched a game in Chicago. This was the Marlins. Alex Fernandez pitched the coldest day at Wrigley Field. The next day was the second coldest day. It was miserable. April.
This was in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how cold it gets at Wrigley Field in October because they don't play many games then.
I'm glad you put many. That was a heck of a series in 03. The Marlins.
Down 3-1.
In the Subway Series, that was nice weather, if you remember.
It wasn't very cold.
Yeah, it wasn't very cold. Toronto had a dome, so that helped. Although Philadelphia was kind of cold. And then the Florida was good. Although Cleveland, I think it snowed.
Yeah, that was very cold.
Yeah. They did terrible that game.
Well, they just did some research, Al, that backs up your statement. The average high in October is 63, and the average high in April is 58.
Let's see. But here in New York.
No, in the Bahamas. Yes, here in New York, Al.
Well, we're talking about a lot of different cities, different longitudes.
You're watching CC right now, and he has been lights out the entire second half of the season. Al, he just doesn't seem like he's in sync. He's not throwing the ball quickly. Yep. He doesn't seem like he wants to throw the ball.
Well, you know, and I don't know if I'd go there, Michael, but when you're missing the way he is, and he's kind of pitched around a few scenarios. Wigginton looked like he pitched around him.
Another ground ball at third. Rodriguez gets the out at first.
You know, when it looks that way, it's just like when you see a team and you say, "Oh, this team looks flat." You know, yeah, okay. So they had 4 hits, they didn't score any runs, and they looked flat. Sometimes you have to look into who was pitching. Brian Madison, I thought, pitched a heck of a game. He's going to be a really good pitcher, I believe, if he stays healthy. And now here with CC, if you got a guy command-wise, he's off, and you know now there's some shake, and you're on the mound, you're picking up the rosin bag, you're walking around. It just it has that feeling, and I think. The biggest part of this, Michael, is that when you have games like this, you know, when CC Sabathia or an AJ Burnett or any frontline major league pitcher is on his game, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a well pitched game. He can throw his hat and glove and ball out there, and it's going to be nails. It's games like this when your command is off and you have to make those pitches when needed. Those are the games you gut out. Those are the games that you feel like, yes, I gave up 4, but I got into the 7th and won 6-4. And a lot of times those are more gratifying than the 3-1 game. And I think that's where CC certainly a fantastic pitcher. That's where you play the game within the game. So okay, you start out. I remember talking to Tom Seaver. Started out thinking about no hitter. If you gave up a hit, I thought about a shutout. After a shutout, you work your way down from there. It's certainly not giving in to the circumstances. Oh, I don't have my stuff today. This is going to be a bad one. No, you have a lot of different elements of not only pitching and doing your job of executing, but you've got a great offense. You may come back and win the game if you give up a few early on. Continue to execute and make quality pitches.
Driven out to left field. Damon back, battling the sun, still battling it, and he makes the play. And he forgot how many outs there were, and they're going to wave home Turner. Here's the throw, and he pulled a rock. Damon pulled a rock, and it is a 2-base sac fly for Fiorentino as the Yankees trail 3-1.
Well, yeah, you obviously got to know how many outs there are, and I think the battle with the, you see, and at least he was mindful enough to not throw it right away. But
well, I think even Jeter, he was going to throw the ball into the stands, and Sabathia didn't. What are you doing?
Yeah, big no-no, Mike. I mean, you said he pulled the rock. Obviously, got to know how many outs there are. Turner going back, tagging up, does his job. There's the Alex said, throw it in. No.
That's an embarrassing moment for Johnny Damon.
He knows it, obviously.
Brian Roberts drives one to right center field, giving Chase Swisher on the run on the track, and he'll make the play. Nice running play by Nick Swisher, and that is the third out. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, at least physical ones, and nobody left on base. Johnny Damon was ready. Time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. When CC made his major league debut against the O's, which current Yankee teammate was in the O's lineup that day? The answer is Jerry Hairston. He was 0-2 with a strikeout against Sabathia. Jorge Posada lines a base hit to right center. Fiorentino fires in. He's playing a pretty good center field as Posada leads off with a single. All right, now I know what you're going to say, Al. Sometimes I ask you questions and I almost know the answer.
Go ahead, answer. Lou, right middle of the plate. Good aggressive approach. Get jumping on the fastball right away out of the box.
Let's make believe this is Jeopardy. You'll say you've got to execute a pitch.
Quality pitch.
A quality pitch, and that's all you have to think about. If you're a pitcher on the mound and what happened behind CC happened, what do you think?
Is the microphone on?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's not part of the game because that is a fundamental part of a Little League game. How many outs are there? So you're definitely frustrated, but you also realize it's, you know, there's a human element to it, and yes, you're busting it. Obviously, his reaction here is like, hey, you know, what are you doing? You should know how many outs. So there is that frustration, but you try to separate that to this is your teammate, and he's going to be there for you more times than not. And yeah, you're frustrated.
That one's looped to left, and it's a base hit for Cano. Boy, he can do no wrong against the Orioles. So he is 2 for 2.
Well, that's living right here. He gets jammed in on the hands, pulls it in, head down. What happens? It cues it to left field, and when a hitter is locked in, more times than not, if a hitter feels good about what he's doing, he's getting hits like this. Can't explain it. It's part of the game. Or just pops it out there, and the guy who's struggling and just can't do anything right, that ball is popped up and somebody's catching it.
So let's see if the Yankees pick up their teammate Johnny Damon here. First and second, nobody out. Here's Nick Swisher. And he bunts up in the air, and it falls.
I don't know, from the look of Girardi there, you know, many times a hitter just feels comfortable in doing it on his own. And, you know, maybe that was a situation there where Swisher was doing it on his own.
Oh, I'm sure he did it on his own.
Yeah,
and I don't understand the thinking, Al. It's the 4th inning. You're playing in Yankee Stadium. You should never give up an out. And you're bunting in the 4th inning.
And how about Michael? He's batting 500, 8 for 17 now, so a little under 500 with 2 home runs against Guthrie career.
That one's long in the left field. That's why you don't bunt. Posada moves to third, and the Yankees have the bases loaded.
Well, you hate bunting all the time.
In the American League at this ballpark, I hate bunting.
Hanging. Look at the hanger on that. Way up in the zone. That's a happy zone for a hitter. Coming back after whether he bunted on his own or not, but nice little left field. Medium line drive.
Rick Kranitz goes out and tosses. I wanted to give you this number because I said that Cano's been killing the Orioles this year. This is against the Orioles. That's it. Just against the Orioles. Robinson Cano's 32 for 66. 45. That's Central Park Beer League numbers. That's unbelievable.
You know, and after that, you know, wouldn't be, because a lot of times you look into it and say, oh, if the guy's wearing out, you're saying, okay, we better tear up our scatter report and think of something else. But that last hit there, you can't do anything about it. Or in on his hands, and he was just able to get enough out there. Like to see all those hits, whether they were line drives or mistakes.
Here's Melky Cabrera with the bases loaded and nobody out. And a strike.
Right down the middle, fastball. Like to get that one back, Melky would. You get that little two-seamer run away, that defensive mode. You know, hitters will just get in their mindset, okay, I'm going to take a pitch here and let's see what he's got. He's going to come with something other than his fastball. Pumped it right down the middle, then a little runner away. This ball's going to be up in the zone, I believe, with Chad Bowler showing upstairs. There it is. And he missed. There's a couple mistakes there, at least that one there, 0-2 count. Watch Bowler where his glove is. Boy, that's not high enough. Had enough run away. Guthrie did. Melky looked like he had a downtown swing there.
to center field for a base hit. Posada scores. Here comes Cano. He'll score. It's a 2-run single from Melky Cabrera. 7th for 20 this year with the bases loaded, and the Yankees have tied the game at 3.
Boy, Melky fighting it early on. Here's that pitch right down the middle. He already convinced himself he wasn't swinging. Then he flails at a pitch away. That's a mistake there, but boy, did he get a good stroke on that. Little backdoor slider, stays on it, doesn't try to do a whole lot. That's a nice approach for Melky. 12 RBIs for Melky in his last 11 starts.
That was not an awful pitch.
No,
that's just nice hitting.
It is. He gave up the eye. Saw the 0-1 fastball where he kind of pulled off a little bit. There he just stayed in, and just that whole approach to that opposite field, center of the field approach is really good with 2 strikes.
And Jeter bunts. Count 0-1.
I mean, that's the change, Michael, within the bat, where which are the hitters that actually think along the line with the scenario of what the pitcher's trying to do, but also too what count you're in. 2 times now Derek Jeter was in a defensive count. It was 1-2 count, he had the base hit to right, and then his last double where he just flicked it an 0-2 count. Sometimes you have to give up your swing based on the situation.
Another bunt by Jeter. Jeter with 2 hits today, 191 on the season. That's pretty consistent, the seasons he's put together.
So that bunt there, you don't like those? I know.
Also, Derek's at 332.
2 for 2.
I give up on it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because people disagree with me. This ballpark, you shouldn't bunt. Now, obviously, late in the game, you're trying to win the game, get the tying run in the 9th inning, something like that, or the winning run at second base. I get, but now I don't get it. He just put himself in an 0-2 hole for what reason?
Yeah, but say he lays it down and he gets the job done.
Well, you know what? I more approve of what Derek was doing than what Nick was doing, because Nick was bunting to sacrifice. Derek was trying to get a base hit. He saw Turner back and he said, I'm going to try to get a hit like he did on Wednesday to start that 3-hit game. But I still... Do you agree or disagree?
I like it, and I'm thinking as a National Leaguer, I just think that's an element of the game that's lost in the American League. But you make a good point here at the stadium.
That one is grounded to third. They get 1, that's all they get. And Swisher hustles to third and doesn't get tagged out.
Oh man, what's going on in second? They called Melky out?
I think Melky was called out on the force, yeah. And Swisher made a good play holding up so he wasn't tagged.
Very good play, Michael. You're right. And immediately mindful that he wasn't tagged. Now there, the reaction, shortstop should have realized what was going on with Swisher, and knowing the speed of Derek Jeter. Actually, I said shortstop. And second baseman Brian Roberts. A pile of Orioles there. A couple birds falling in there.
And here is Johnny Damon. So the Yankees have picked him up and tied the game. Now, can he really get back in their good graces with a big hit here? And if you just turn on the set, Johnny forgot how many outs there were in the top of the inning. Runner at second, a deep fly ball to left. He caught the second out and was about to toss the ball into the stands. The Yankees were yelling for him to throw it in, and the runner scored all the way from second to give the O's a 3-1 lead. But now it's 3-3. The 1-0. In case you missed it, this is what he did. So he catches the ball, thinks it's the third out. He's about to toss it into the stands. And then he sees they're yelling, get the ball in.
Now, G2 also, maybe he just assumed that Turner was just staying at third base. May have had a play.
That was actually heads-up base running by A. Turner and heads-up coaching by Juan Samuel. So now the count 2-1 on Damon.
Well, with Chad Moeller only throwing 5% of the runners out, if this is a first and third situation, there might be kind of a pitcher cut off or hold the ball from Chad Moeller.
And the count 3-1.
Meaning Derek running 5%. Moeller's not good. League average about 25% for catchers thrown out. There's a play where you throw it above the head of the pitcher, make it look like you're coming through it. Guthrie would cut it off, trying to get Swisher at third.
And Damon works a walk to load the bases. Moeller wants to settle down Guthrie. And Guthrie sees in the batter's box he's got Mark Teixeira, and then there's no landing spot because on deck is Alex Rodriguez. So Swisher, Jeter, and Damon from third to first. And look at Teixeira's numbers with the bases loaded at 353.
Ooh, 4 grannies. She's all right.
Now, how about the professionalism of that young lady who's a waitress? She didn't drop anything off the tray. That's a great job. Good hands.
Coffee too. Look at that.
Yeah. And Guthrie runs Swisher back to third.
I've never seen that, Michael. This is funny. He's way off. He said, "How dare you way off? I'm going to beat you there."
And now Swisher takes an even longer lead. And the reason that Swisher's able to take that lead is they have the shift on, and the third baseman Turner is around where the shortstop could be. And technically, you could get a lead as big as what the shortstop or the third baseman is away from the bag.
But really, Michael, the only person in this picture here, if a ground ball is to the pitcher, that's the only chance that anybody's going to throw home. They're all playing back. So the idea of trying to get a big lead here would be if the infield was halfway or in more, because you'd get a great jump.
They don't have to worry about that as he strikes out Mark Teixeira for the second out, and that leaves it to Alex Rodriguez.
You know what? I'd also have to add to that. Here, let's take a look at the pitch by pitch. Teixeira, this is first pitch changeup, flings the bat. Now a little sinker down the way, another little changeup. Good combination. Guthrie out in front, watches spent front side, and then it's a matter of just for Teixeira's sake that he nicked the ball. Also, too, another reason you're annoying the pitcher, Nick Swisher, and if there is a ball that gets away from Chad Moeller, he's that much closer. So that would be really the only other reasons as to why he'd get off that far.
Pitch outside to Alex Rodriguez. He doubled the left center and drove in a run on the first, and he walked in the third. And he has 17 grand slams in his career, a 340 lifetime average. Yankees 8 for 39. That's 205 with runners in scoring position over the last 5 games, 2 of which they lost. Well, they did sweep the Tampa Bay Rays in 4 games, and then the Orioles came to town, and 10-4 at 7-3, and they lost 2 in a row. One. Knocked off the mask of Moeller, and it's 1-2.
Boy, Alex wishes he gets this back right down the middle. You see Alex saying, boy, that didn't get that one back. Little hanging slider. 1-1 pitch. Moeller looks okay. Guthrie seems to be a guy that doesn't like to shake. So now here Chad Moeller's with a gesture with his hand. Okay, we'll go through another set of signs. You see pitchers that'll, well, he just shook there. He'll step off. Sequence of signs. Now, I said in the scout report, the rap, I don't want to say rap because he's a good pitcher, is that he thinks a lot. And this is the moment when you were saying early on about, you know, when do you think or when do you not. I mean, this is where you can outthink yourself. And now this is a good little spot. Bowler comes out. What do you want to do? You shook me twice. What do you think? That's just getting on the same page.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 3-3 tie game, bottom of the 4th. 1-2 count on Alex Rodriguez. The pitch. Outside, 2-2. Stadium looks great on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Big crowd watching the Yankees and the O's. Strike 3. Alex Rodriguez down looking, and he does not like the call. And he is barking at Marty Foster. But the Yankees tie the score. How do they do it? It starts with Jorge Posada, then Robinson Cano, then Nick Swisher, and Melky Cabrera drives in 2 with his single. We go to the 5th, 3-3. Well, thank you, Nancy. Right here, it's 3-3, top of the 5th inning, and Cesar Asturias leads off against CC Sabathia. Pitches upstairs, 1-0. Well, the Yankees have 8 hits, but they were unable to get the big hit with their 3 and 4 batters coming up. In the bottom of the 4th on the Lexus scoreboard, 3-5-0 O's, 3-8-0 Yanks. Strike. So a big comeback by Guthrie, striking out Teixeira, then striking out Alex Rodriguez.
Alex not liking that last call. Changeup just might have been off the plate a little bit, maybe too close to take.
Looped into shallow right. But Nick Swisher makes the play. Well, today after the postgame catch, an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show to get the skipper's thoughts on this past week's homestand against the Rays and the O's. And stick around for the Emmy-winning Yankees on deck. It all starts today after the postgame, only on Yes. Isn't Yankees on deck where Professor Leiter actually teaches?
Yes. Teaches,
Controls,
information. It's very, very, very good stuff. Nutrition, schoolwork, science.
You teach nutrition?
I do. Why do you say that?
Well, because I'm wondering, do you tell the kids to drink Red Bull in the morning?
No, I don't. Vegetables, grains, meats, dairy.
There's a strike.
So you've seen the show. If you saw it, you'd like it.
That little kid's probably going to watch it when he gets home tonight.
Yeah. Well, she would. I think he might be a little too young.
High fly ball. Right field. 2 out. Swisher's made the last 3 putouts for the Yanks.
So now this is one of those games for CC, Michael, that you battle, you're struggling, you just don't feel right. And if you can continue to just keep making those pitches, and here it is, 70 pitches, 44 strikes, you're very economical, really. I mean, considering how he struggled through that second inning. And your offense can continue to peck away. This is one of those games. We'll see how it plays out, but he could still get his 7 innings. I know his strikeouts aren't there. You have to strike an Oriole out, which is unusual, considering how many strikeouts he's been getting the last few starts. Out of his last 5 starts, he's had 3 10-strikeout starts. Actually, out of his last 6 starts, but the domination's there.
The 1-0 to Reimold was 2 for 2. Missed outside. 2-0.
Because I know you kid, but really, in the end, I mean, it is about the pitcher as to whether a pitcher on the mound is going to make pitches, and then whether hitters take advantage of mistakes. I mean, that's the whole premise of the game. It really is. And then if you get a guy that's dominating stuff-wise, like CC, then that's your 2-1 ball game. Throwing strikes, command of all your pitches, and executing pitches. Yes, I know it sounds redundant or boring, but that's the reality of a baseball game.
And the 3-0. Reimold takes the strike. And Sabathia deals the 3-1. Check swing, foul back. So he's 1 pitch away from working a 1-2-3 inning. He's had 1 of those so far today, and that was in the first.
Shaking his head there. He came with a 3-1 changeup to Nolan Reimold. That's respect. Reimold 2 for 2 with the double and the single so far.
Fly ball to Damon, and he's there, and he makes the play. So the Orioles go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're halfway through. It's 3-3. am not sure what he was arguing about, but he gets thrown out by the home plate umpire, Marty Foster.
That would be, I think it was the A-Rod pitch off the plate. I do. If the ball was a couple inches off the plate, it was a big moment in the game. Girardi was probably expressing how he missed the pitch, because this is what happens. They go up into the video room, which is right behind the dugout.
Veins on Joe's neck popping out. He is angry. He does not get this mad that often. And you can see the crew chief, Wally Bell's in a step between them. And Joe has to watch out. You don't want to make contact.
I'll tell you, Marty must have said something. I agree. We know Joe Girardi a lot of different ways.
Now, is it possible that A-Rod was thrown out? That's why Joe Girardi came out to argue the way he did? Maybe A-Rod had seen the tape and then said something from the dugout, got tossed out, and then Joe tried to protect him. And now Joe is coming out again. Now, it looks like A-Rod was definitely thrown out.
Wally Bell, the crew chief, that's what the Chiefs do. They get in between and intervene, try to quiet it down. But Girardi's hot. Well, here's the pitch. There's a changeup. Big moment. Bases loaded. Especially in the moment with the situation, you better make sure this is a great view right here. Now that's all. That's not a whole lot, Michael. You know, that's the old proverbial, if it's close, it's too close to take. He's showing him it's that far outside.
So we'll see if A-Rod got tossed. We definitely know that Joe Girardi got tossed. And we'll see what this does to the Yankees, whether it sparks them. And the pitch to Matsui is outside. And A-Rod was thrown out too. There's a base hit up the bat of Matsui.
You know, and there's a rule about that you're not allowed to question the balls and strikes of a home plate umpire, which I really find that somewhat disturbing, because it is about that. The game's about whether you swing at a strike or you get a ball or the ball is called correctly. But I understand the human element, and the umpires do a fantastic job. But to just blanket that you're not allowed to question a call, I just never have understood that. And yes, there are some umpires that are more forgiving and they'll listen to you enough so long as you don't show them up. But for it to be an automatic ejection, I've never agreed with that.
Lexus scoreboard, it's a 3-3 game. Yankees with 9 hits, O's with 5. And there's a strike to Posada. That's not a strike, Marty. That ball was away. And there's a strike. Girardi's 4th ejection of the season. His 8th as manager. And he's had 11 overall. That one gets away from Chad Moeller as Matsui advances to second.
So 50, wow, right between his legs, trying to get down. Obviously, he wasn't able to keep it in front of him.
ejection of Alex, his 5th career ejection, his first since July 24th of 2004.
I mean, it must have been. I mean, you just given the. I mean, well, 5 years, over 5 years. These aren't guys that are typical of just flying off the handle where so here he goes again. I mean, 5 years ago, and it's only 4th ejection this season. Well, 4 ejections. Usually, it's for Girardi protecting your players is usually about balls and strikes.
Now, Joe was ejected in that game in Atlanta where everything turned around. And at that point forward, the Yankees just became a different team. Was it because of the ejection? Alex Rodriguez ended up getting a big hit after that as well. But you wonder if that was a well-timed ejection for Girardi. Fly ball at Reimold, shading his eyes from the sun, and he puts it away.
Boy, this is a tough sun field here in left field, the Yankee Stadium. Obviously, Reimold doing a nice job covering the sun with his glove. The very last second, you track it to where you've got it right in front of the ball. Nice job.
Here's Cano. He's 2 for 2. Popped up. Turner. 2 outs. You know, when you look at the level of unhappiness for A-Rod and for Girardi, and then you look at the pitch and you say, well, you know what, it was pretty close. They're probably thinking, you know what, you can call out a rookie on that. But if a star like Alex Rodriguez can take that pitch off the plate, he knows that it's off the plate, he should get a ball call. That's the only reason I can think that they're that angry. Because maybe the umpire said, what, did missed by that much? Well, that much is the difference between the strikeout and maybe driving in runs.
Yeah, and I think I think to see Girardi act the way he did, I think it's something that Marty Foster may have said, and that just incites the whole argument, obviously. No, and also, too, I mean, you add that to that, Michael, is that it's bases loaded. It's a tie ball game. It's a tight moment. Yeah, you have Alex Rodriguez up there, so you better be sure that it is an absolute strike. And then if you defend it in some way, that's where it becomes a problem and a big argument.
Grounded to first, gobbled up by Wigginton. And that'll do it. Yankees are now just 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position today. Leadoff single wasted. We go to the 6th. That's break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. At Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason. Who but? Well, we go to the 6th inning here at the stadium. It's all knotted at 3. Ty Wigginton will lead it off against CC Sabathia, new third baseman Eric Hinsky. Alex Rodriguez ejected from the ballgame. Three 9-0 for Yanks. 3-5-0 for the O's. One.
Beautiful changeup right there. Coming off his 1-2-3 inning, last inning in the 5th, he had a 1-2-3 inning in the 1st. Pitch count down. This is again where the battle game for him. He's get this changeup, Michael, which he throws so often. This is a beautiful pitch. Wigginton out in front. I love that combination.
Now, you've said, Al, that you didn't realize he threw it as much as he did until you watched him this year all the time.
Yeah, I mean, watching him, from the dugout or just watching highlights or even some of his games, but how he opens up the plate with his dominant fastball and that power slider, but then that changeup. So there's 3 different speeds and they're going in different directions. That's the pitch right there tonight that he hasn't dotted as well as he has in some other games, in more dominant games. Set up perfectly, the 2-2. You don't want to go to 3-2. It's Wigginton out in front of the changeup. Paint that pitch on the corner as he's done so often recently. Lock him up.
Line drive right at Jeter. Celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, September 15th, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a limited edition miniature collectible Ford Taurus, courtesy of Ford. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
Well, up to this point, I got him down, Michael, for 14 changeups. And again, you're not talking about a Tom Glavine or a Jamie Moyer or somebody who doesn't throw hard and has to have that pitch as part of his repertoire.
Nice play by Teixeira. And he beats leaders to the bag. 2 outs.
But you have a guy, 95-mile-an-hour pitch there that will range from the 95s down to, his changeup in 77, 78 miles an hour with a great slider. That's why CC Sabathia is in contention for Cy Young Award every year. Has already won it. May have a shot at it this year. Great play to share. Boy, what he's meant to offensively, but defensively, obviously. And the overall defense of this infield has been fantastic this year. And it's because of that man right there that he's absolutely helped. The importance of a great defensive first baseman. I think it's been overlooked.
And as good a guy as Jason Giambi was, he was not a good first baseman. Obviously he was good at scooping balls out of the dirt. That was his signature skill at first, but he didn't like to throw the ball. He didn't have any mobility. And, for 7 years, the Yankees kind of got lulled to sleep, and that's the way it was. But Mark Teixeira certainly bringing a different brand of defense to first base.
And the comfort, too. The throwing errors are down, but when as an infielder, especially coming from the left side with shortstop and third base, that you have a guy that will scoop and do some things mobility-wise, that you're just more relaxed with your throws. And consequently, you'll make better throws. As opposed to fielding feet underneath, and you look and say, geez, I better hit him in the chest here because I don't know if he's going to catch it or come off the bag. JC now getting what Marty Foster was that off down away. A little change up, bad count here. CC attacked the zone here, getting an area where you know he can't hit out of the ballpark and throw a quality strike.
And he ends up walking Turner.
CC looking at him, did not like that 2-1 pitch. The call of it. Yeah, that's frustrating. He gets 2 quick outs. Now you have Justin Turner, young player, rookie, borderline down where Posada caught it was down.
Here's Chad Moeller. Moeller's 0 for 1 with a sac fly. And a strike. First, 2 outs. 0-2 count on the Oriole catcher Chad Moeller. And the 0-2. High fly ball, right center. Melky Cabrera and Nick Swisher, and Melky makes the play for the final out of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees Baseball on Yaz is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. It's a 3-3 game as we head to the bottom of the 6th, and the pitch to Melky Cabrera is a strike. Shallow fly ball, center field, coming on Fiorentino. One away. You gotta like the way Fiorentino plays center field out.
And can scoot. You're right, Michael. He's got a lot of speed. He beat out a ball yesterday that I thought was rather somewhat routine. It was a ground ball, and then just when early on, the great play to right center field up against the wall. You know, you look at the Orioles. I think it's kind of a sad. I don't want to say sad state for baseball, but you know, having grown up a big baseball fan and always watching the Orioles do so well, and to see for 12 years now them having a losing record. I mean, there was a time in baseball where it was about the Oriole way. Teams tried to emulate what the Orioles were all about, and it has not been that at all. And there's certain organizations where you just hope as a baseball fan that they're in it or they're close, because it's just the history and the tradition. And this is an organization that has it. It's very deep. Championships.
And another base hit for Derek Jeter. He's 3 for 4. Almost machine-like with that stroke to right field.
And it's so repetitive, almost in the sense of, I hate to keep referring back to pitcher, but I'll do it anyway, is Mariano Rivera. Consistent swing when Derek Jeter's healthy, and that's really a big component of any player's game, but when he feels good, wherever ailment's going on, I don't believe he could really ever go in a long slump because of his approach. That swing right there, it enables him to track a ball longer. He's fooled less on breaking balls and off-speed pitches, and to drive the ball to right center field. You talk to any hitter, and when they're struggling, what they work on in batting practice is trying to go the other way. And that's his natural swing.
Popped up and out of play. Well, it's Derek's 21st 3-hit game of the season.
I was talking to Andy McPhail. He's a vice president of baseball operations, and yes, the GM and everything underneath it. Peter Angelos is the owner, and allowed him to just say, "Go do your thing." And he's come on since 2007, and he's a guy that's all about you groom and grow your own arms, and eventually you buy your bats, as he says. And in a place like Camden Yards, as he was telling me, it's like it's hard to really go out and get a front-end guy who really wants to pitch there, because it's always been known as a hitter's park. And I know there's other parks that have done it, Coors Field, but if you could build within, as we saw with Brian Mattis, a high draft pick, Chris Tillman pitched an excellent game the first game here. They like Brad Ferguson showing what Guthrie's done. He was a top pick with the Indians. He ended up getting claimed on waivers, but there is something to hang your hat on. Adam Jones is a really exciting-looking player. He's down for the year. And the few elements that are part of this team that they have to look forward to and hang their hat on.
And as we said on Friday, you grow your pitchers. If they don't grow them, they're going to be bad for a long time, because it's imperative that they do, because it's impossible for teams that are not going to be the top payroll teams to get big-time pitchers on the free agent market. There's just a dearth of pitching, and you're going to have to overpay for them. Line drive and base hit to right field off the bat of Damon. Jeter will go to third. And Johnny picks up his first base hit of the afternoon.
Good at bat for Johnny. Fought up a couple tough pitches, fouled them off. The fastball up in the zone. Bad location for Guthrie. Nice approach, being able to get on top of that baseball. Get a line drive. Got something going here. This is obviously feels bad about what happened when he thought there was 2 outs. Crossing a run, being part of this. You know what's on his mind.
And the Yankees have a kangaroo court where the players police themselves, so you know that Johnny would be fined for that. There's Mark Teixeira. And a strike twice today. Teixeira has not gotten in a run from third with less than 2 outs. In the third inning, he grounded back to the mound. And in the fourth inning, he struck out. The bases loaded. There's Mariano Rivera. And he is a judge of the kangaroo court. So I'm sure he's got that in his mental Rolodex.
That's got to be a big find. That's it. And you find guys, and it's a lot of fun, the kangaroo court, but you find guys for mental mistakes. And that is the ultimate mental mistake.
Teixeira's having trouble with Guthrie. He's just not picking the ball up out of his hand. But
yeah, I don't know whether the Orioles as a team has just pitched him tough. For the year, he's batting .233 against the O's. He's from Baltimore area. Grew up an Oriole fan.
not last time he got him up on the change with 2 strikes. So let's see if he tries to put him away with a change on 2-2.
As he just threw back-to-back changeups here. Let's see if he does 3 in a row, Michael.
Strike 3, and Teixeira down looking, and he got him on the change.
Boy, that is the pitch that he just figured, hey, he's going to hit my changeup. Starts him off with a little changeup, another changeup, another. Wow, I said 3 changeups in a row, Michael. That was all changeups. 5 pitch at bat, 5 changeups. You don't see that often. Looked like Teixeira was waiting. He's got to throw me fastball. He's got to throw me fastball. He didn't.
And now the Yankees realize how large it was having A-Rod thrown out, because instead of Alex Rodriguez coming up here, it's going to be Eric Hinske. And that's why Kranitz is out there. This is the first time that Guthrie's going to face Hinske today, so they're going over the pitching report.
That's right. I mean, as a staff, what Michael's saying, Rick Kranitz, you get with the catchers and the bullpen coach and all the pitching staff, and you'll go over the hitters, but you stop on the core guys and the bench guys. You'll go over it, but it's quickly with the up and in, down, away, and whatever scout report they come up with.
Hinske 3 for 16 with 2 home runs lifetime against Guthrie. As an off-speed pitch for a strike, 1-1. When Guthrie pitches the way he's pitching today, you wonder, why is he an under 500 pitcher? Because he's got the skills. It's all about consistency. Held off on that high fastball on the count, 2-1.
Well, he was the #1 pick for a reason. He was 22nd overall in 2002, so he's shown that. Stanford guy, he's smart, intelligent. And yeah, I mean, consistency is the name of the game, certainly when you play baseball, and get a lot of appearances, opportunities, pitches. Hitters, 500 plus at bats if you play every day.
Jeter at third, Damon at first. Nice block there by Chad Moeller.
I was talking to Jim Palmer, who does the Oriole games, the Hall of Famer, Oriole great. They let Guthrie go to the WBC, played on Team USA. It didn't do well at all, and it really was a residual effect of him getting back into his routine. But there were 37 pitchers in the Oriole camp. And part of their reasoning wasn't all totally, but it was the fact that he could go get his pitch and work there, and they could see other guys early on in spring training.
So Hinske works a walk, and the bases are loaded. And there is Jim Palmer.
Boy, you talk about pitching, Michael. He'll talk pitching a lot. It's great. I love it.
There's a pretty good pitcher, Ron Guidry, giving a hug to Jim Palmer. Ron was at the ballpark today.
Boy, they lock arms, huh? Horns, those guys throwing that. When the Orioles were something in the late 70s.
Pretty good. 2 pretty good pitchers. The only thing that's kept Ron Guidry out of the Hall of Fame is longevity. Didn't do it for enough years. But when he was good, he was as good as anybody's ever been. count 1-1. Jeter's on third, Damon's at second, and Hinske is at first. Hot shot, base hit. That'll score 2. Hinske is going to go to third. The throw comes all the way home. It's late. 2-run single for Matsui, and the Yankees lead 5-3. And Hinske just got out of the way of being hit by that line drive. It would have been the last out of the inning.
This ball is smoked. Came with a changeup 1-0 and then threw it again. Nice approach. Drives that ball, as Michael said. Hinske almost got hit with this. Not a whole lot of reaction time. Barely getting out of the way of that ball. Big, big hit for the Yankees. Matsui coming through there. Hinske backstepping. Markakis getting that ball in quickly.
Not a bad day for Jeremy Guthrie, but he falters here in the 6th inning. He's given up 2 runs, given up a lead, and now he's got runners on first and third that he leaves for the ball. Well, Derek Jeter scored a run. Why is it important? It's his 100th run of the year. He's done it 12 times in his career. So he breaks a tie with Babe Ruth for second place. Now he's alone in second. One more year and he ties Lou Gehrig. The captain keeps chasing the captain. This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered. Jeremy Guthrie gave up 12 hits in 5 2/3, 5 runs and 2 runners on base. His responsibility through 103 pitches. And Sean Henn, the former Yankee, will come on to face Jorge Posada. Those are Henn's numbers. In 3 seasons with the Yankees from 05 through 07, 2-6, 7.53. The Yankees always thought that he was going to be pretty good, but he could never harness it. You don't like to give up on left-handers. They eventually did.
Went up to Minnesota, playing some there. I think really the frustrating part was that Sean Henn, the starter in the minor leagues, and I think they saw an element of his stuff go down. He's kind of odd in a way, because when you watch him, he'll possess like a very good fastball and that plus stuff, as you say, Michael, but then he'll lose it. I mean, literally like 3-4 miles an hour off his fastball, and it ends up being a guided, forced pitch. And a lot of times you'll see young pitchers when things aren't going well, instead of continuing to reach back and do what you're capable of doing, you start aiming it and you just not as effective. They thought there was a chance maybe of him doing something out of the pen. It just didn't work out.
The 2-1. Count 3-1. Jorge's hit .355 this month, 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. And Posada walks to load the bases. Well, the Yankees have had their opportunities to break this game open. Before the hit by Matsui, they were 3 for 15 today with runners in scoring position. Time for another look at today's Toyota text ball. Once again, the question: who's the best second baseman amongst the Yankees' American League East rivals? You've been texting us at 58772. Here's how you voted. And you voted for the MVP, which makes sense. Dustin Pedroia 47%, then Brian Roberts 25%, and Hill and Zobrist.
Wow, some partial fans here.
I mean, you're shocked that Yankee fans are voting for the Red Sox?
Yeah.
And now against Cano. Count 1-0. Relievers the Orioles are carrying in their bullpen. 14. Hinsky's at third, Matsui at second, Posada's at first. Count 1 more.
Well, that's a combination of obviously a team being out of it, but also given an opportunity for guys that deserved it, had good years, and also what they're lining up for next spring as to who they think is major league ready. This is a great opportunity for a team like the Orioles to give guys, young players, a chance. A little hesitation on both sides there. Sean Ham looking at Chad Moeller kind of hesitated.
Count 2-2. Cano's 2 for 3. We told you how successful Cano's been against the Orioles, and he simply doesn't want to see this be the last game. Getting close to 500 this year against the O's. 2-2. Foul ball. The early part of the day, a lot of clouds over the stadium, some dark clouds as well. And you see the multi-hit games that Cano's had against the Orioles this season. That ties Nellie Fox for the most ever against the O's in 1 year. But the clouds are gone, and that's why the left fielders have been having so many troubles with fly balls. No cloud cover at all to shade the sun. Beautiful clear skies for the most part. It's a great sports day here in the area. You've got full house at the U.S. Open in Flushing, 46,413 in the Bronx. You can have a full house for the Giants and the Redskins in the Meadowlands. The 2-2, and he struck him out. So Hen challenged Cano to strike him out with the bases loaded. But the Yankees take the lead. They scored 2 runs, and it was Hideki Matsui who came up with a big hit.
Tomorrow on Yes, the Yankees take on the Angels in a makeup game here in the Bronx. Complete coverage starts at 6 o'clock with batting practice today and the pregame. Then John Flaherty and Michael Kay have the call. Angels, Yankees tomorrow at 6 o'clock, only on Yes.
And it's going to be a battle for the best record in baseball. Yankees lead by 4 in the loss column over the Angels. And they have 4 games remaining with the Angels as Fiorentino takes a strike. You know, you're amazing to me, Al. You really are.
Really?
John Flaherty's doing the game. I'm doing the game. You're coming back to do the 2 Blue Jay games. What, you don't do makeup games? Is that it?
Why are you going here?
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
They told me I didn't have to be here. That's the deal. You map out the schedule, you see where you're supposed to be, and you behave. You do as accordingly to the plan that was told to you.
You know, I saw you throughout this weekend talking with Jim Palmer, and one time I was eavesdropping as the 2 of you were talking, and for all you viewers out there, you'd be shocked what they were talking about. The 0-2. I actually heard them arguing, no. I'm the best looking pitcher of all time. And then Jim goes, no, I am. I think, Al, you won the argument, didn't you?
No way. He had an underwear commercial. You kidding me? See how big I am? Forget about it. No. Jim's a handsome fella.
New third baseman for the Yankees is Ramiro Pena. I thought I heard you guys talking that. I might have been wrong. And the 0-2. And that one's fouled off. You know, we should have a second Toyota text poll.
What would that be? No, stop.
Who's the best looking pitcher of all time? Is it Leiter?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because Jim Hunter, their play-by-play guy, I thought I heard the same thing between you two.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you heard?
You're so vain. I've never seen a mirror I don't like. Michael Kay.
Me? Look at Jim right over your shoulder. He's looking at you out. He's looking over your shoulder for the all good.
You know, he was telling me about a cool drill that he found out from Mike Butcher, and complicated way of getting to Jeremy Guthrie that I think I'm going to use on my Little League team with Jack's on.
And what is that drill?
You know what? There's a thing called a stick drill or a towel drill that a lot of the coaches used to teach for guys that don't get through and finish. And they, you know, Sammy Ellis. Remember Sammy Ellis, the pitching coach?
Sure.
Okay, so you get a towel and you show that you whip the ball, whip the towel. Phil Hughes warming up in the Yankee bullpen, and Mike Butcher was showing, because Guthrie, I guess there was an issue of him not finishing, so he puts a ball in a sock.
Right.
And you throw the ball while it's in the sock, and just to simulate your hand getting through the baseball. So apparently Jim has imparted this onto Guthrie, and it's helped him. His last 4 starts, now 5 starts. He puts a good ball game pretty much today.
So you put the ball in the sock, right?
Yeah.
And then you just hold the end of the sock and throw it, or do you hold the ball and then let it go?
You would let it go.
What Al's doing for you, you cannot realize. He's taking his sock off so he can make this demonstration. Okay. This is big.
No, seriously, because this... Stay away from it. It is my sock. One chair.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Fiorentino down on strikes. Okay,
so a sock. You would get it. You would normally have a towel and you whip, and you want to show the hand getting through the ball. But what was told of Mike Butcher to Jim Palmer, he put it in a sock. The ball.
It's a great sock, by the way.
Yeah, this is cute, isn't it? Tim. Okay, but you would normally use like a sanitary, and then you hold the baseball. So when you throw, like the Sammy Ellis says, you literally throw the ball, and the ball comes out of your hand. But you're showing how the ball gets through the baseball. But instead of actually throwing the ball, yeah, that'd be terrible if there was a hole in my sock. But this would be the drill. Instead of...
It's like working with Shari Lewis.
Instead... No, but it's good stuff. I'm telling you, you used to use a towel and you weren't feeling a baseball, but here you feel the baseball. It's a good drill. Apparently it's helped Jeremy Guthrie.
Wait, you lost me. Why can't you just do that with a ball without a sock?
Because the ball, you don't want the ball to go anywhere. You'd either use a stick where you throw the ball and you want the feeling of your hand getting through the baseball, or you would use a towel and you're not feeling the baseball. So here, by putting a baseball in the sock, You think I'm a fool?
No, it's great.
Yeah, this was great. I'm going to use it.
Is that lamb chops?
And then now when you throw, you let go of the baseball. But Guthrie wasn't letting go of the baseball, so he wasn't getting his arm through the baseball. You know.
Guys, get that on Al's Emmy reel, please. The 0-1. 1-1. Oh, man.
All right, we'll do it at like a batting practice show. Maybe we'll get us a chance to throw in the bullpen or something.
And also the sanitary hose they use, the ball would have more travel.
It would travel a little bit further than obviously these little browns.
With an Argyle pattern.
I thought it was good, and you're always trying to think of, even as a player or coach, some other kind of drill to get the point, or you see guys go to different teams and they kind of get it. I mean, coaches, it's kind of the same stuff of hitting and fielding it. It's just, but maybe the message is a little bit different.
So you're going to use that with your son Jack's Little League team?
Yeah, because I do some stuff with kids. I like the idea because you're actually holding a ball as opposed to a stick or a towel. I see you like
the 2-2. Now, what is holding the stick do? What's that supposed to?
It's about when pitchers don't throw the baseball, they kind of restrict their shoulder, and there isn't a snap at the end.
Right.
You want your wrist to snap and finish.
And you do that more if you have a stick?
Yeah. Because you really feel the simulation of what your wrist is doing. That's the whole point about not throwing the ball, because when you're throwing it, you don't really get the feel as to what exactly is happening with your hand and the wrist.
And the count now full at 3-2, and CeCe's up around 100. He is at exactly 105 pitches, and Phil Hughes is ready to come on if need be. And the 3-2, and he walks him.
That was a pitch for CeCe. Back-to-back changeups, was in a 2-2 count. Got the 3-2 with a changeup. Posada calls it. It's one of those pitches, your pitch count's getting up there. You may get taken out. You want to nail it. Just didn't make the pitch.
Now, for those that just joined us, Joe Girardi was actually ejected from the game in the 5th inning. So Tony Pena is acting as the manager. He's the Yankee bench coach. Grounded to Jeter. Throws the second one. On to first. It's a double play. As Ensues is doubled up. And a nice play by the Yankee captain to start the 6-4-3 double play. CeCe likes it as he completes 7. And the Yankees with a 2-run lead as it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Jeter with a nice backhand, good feed to Cano, and he fires to first to just get Ensues. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. The end of 6.5. It's 5-3 Yankees, but we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
At home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith as she sings God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean
Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here, Nancy, at the stadium, and the Yankees are leading 5-3. Sabathia gets the speediest tourist to bang into a 5 or 6-4-3 double play. 5-12-0 for the Yankees and 3-5-0 for the Orioles. CC has now completed at least 7 innings in 8 of his last 9 starts. And that's why you give CC Sabathia the money that you gave him. You want him to be your horse. You want him to be your number 1 guy. Your number 1 guy is going to give you 7 innings most of the time.
You know, and I think that is an absolute part of course, you want your number 1, 2 starters to win 20 games and do fantastic things in that category. But the big element of a horse, to me, is a guy that knows, obviously, you know, end losing streaks, but to be able to go deep in the game and save your bullpen. Your 1, 2, 3 starters, really, it's imperative that they don't, you know, constantly keep getting to that 5th, 6th inning guy. And CC has done a fantastic job, and he's done that pretty much most of his career.
Chris Waters, a new pitcher for the Orioles, taking over for Sean Henn. And Waters will face Swisher, Cabrera, and Jeter. There's a strike.
And you know, Michael, what's satisfying, and mentioned it during the telecast early, that when you're struggling command-wise, and he only gave up the 3 runs, that you continue to battle. And I think it's really important to really stress that point, that it's easy to kind of throw it in. I don't mean throw in the towel. This Waters, his numbers at AAA Norfolk, is that you have to grind it out. And there's times when you feel like, you know, geez, I'm worthless and I didn't do my job and I wanted to throw a shutout and I wanted to be great and get the back pace and all that. Well, guess what? You're not always going to be there. And the guys that, you know, bend and don't break, they're the ones that really have those special years.
Rounded to short is Torres. Against the hustling Swisher for the first out.
You know, it's even the mindset of a guy who, you know, maybe in a big moment, you know, early in the game, 2nd and 3rd, you know, nobody out, doesn't drive in a run or pops it up or strikes out. You know, where does he put his head? You know, is he bummed out? Is he daubered down? You know, does it affect the rest of his day? And your mediocre players, yeah, it does, because they can't get out of it. They just can't get out of their own way many times, and mentally they're in the wrong place. You're confident. Superior players don't allow that to happen.
Strike to Melky Cabrera. Melky with 2 runs batted in on a single in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3. Hitting .349 in September. And he lines one sharply to Turner for the 2nd out. Well, as the Yankees get closer to a playoff spot, you won't want to miss another game. Now you can get live Yes Network games on your PC or laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Shadows might become a factor in the 8th, at least the 9th inning, starting to creep over the grandstand. As Derek Jeter digs in. Derek with 3 hits, 3 for 4, and 3 runs scored. And if Chris Waters looks familiar to you, he actually started the final game for the Orioles at the old Yankee Stadium. Grounded to 3rd. Turner gets Jeter for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Waters and the O's. We go to the 8th here at Yankee Stadium on 161st and River. Yankees lead the O's 5-3. Well, we go to the 8th inning here at the stadium. Yankees lead 5-3. Time to take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game.
And we just saw it with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Boy, it was a big key moment, certainly for the Yankees. And driving the ball past Derek Hinsky, who almost got hit by the ball, scoring Derek Jeter and Johnny Damon, who go-ahead runs 78th RBI. Hideki Matsui, the Land Rover drive of the game.
Now the Yankees go to their bullpen. They'll try to get 6 outs out of their pen, as CC gave them 21 outs. They turn to Phil Hughes. Now, last appearance for Hughes was September 8th against Tampa, his first blown save since becoming a reliever. But his numbers are exemplary: 24 hits, 11 walks. That's 35 base runners in about 42 innings. Gave up a leadoff home run when he came in to break a 2, or to tie the game at 2-2. And that was Jason Bartlett. That's the first home run he allowed since June 10th. Now he faces the heart of the order: Markakis, Reimold, and Wigginton. Count 1-1. Markakis today 0 for 3, came into the game hitting .343 against the Yankees this year. 2-1. And now he picks up his first base hit, a hot shot up the middle. Today and throughout the Yankees season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the 2 of us here in the booth for the Chevy player of the game. Text your vote to 58772. And today's candidates are: number 1, CC Sabathia; number 2, Derek Jeter; number 3, Melky Cabrera; number 4, Hideki Matsui. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Reimold really doesn't get cheated out. He just hacks.
Yeah, and then knowing what Phil Hughes is all about, he's attacking the zone. You're right. I could see why the Orioles really like what they see in Reimold. 15 home runs, 280 batting average. Big guy too. I think it's just a matter of him continuing to obviously know the league and the pitchers, but to fill out. Overthrown mad ball from Phil Hughes, 96 miles an hour. Yeah, I think part of much of the transformation, I don't want to call that. I mean, he's a starter, and he's a starter in the mind of the Yankee organization, Phil Hughes. But how you handle him, he's been lights out, almost perfect. You mentioned about the leadoff home run.
High fly ball, right center. Swisher and Cabrera, and Melky calls off Nick Swisher for the first out. Nick Swisher does a little bit of a dance to get out of the way. After the Yankees close this series against Baltimore, join Nancy Newman back in the studio for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame, featuring comprehensive analysis and highlights. Plus, Kimberly Jones will have all the information from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes.
Swisher pulling back. Now he hears Melky. I got it. He's got to get out of the way. But what made it so theatrical was that ball was actually peeling toward Swisher. But back to Phil Hughes. When you fail, it's all about you realizing that it's part of the game, Michael, and how you bounce back. And I love his disposition, his demeanor, his whole presence, Phil Hughes on the mound. And he has a lot of bravado that he should, because of the results. The numbers next to his name reflect it. But you got to maintain that even if you fail, or not if, when you fail. And that, it'll be just interesting to watch closely for him to still maintain that aggressive, I'm coming at you with my best stuff attitude. And believe it. And that's the time when when players will deviate, because you lose that confidence. You don't feel good about yourself.
So many people say that with relievers, when they struggle, it's about confidence. Last year, Phillies, Brad Lidge never blew a save right through the postseason, not once. And now he's blown 10 saves in 38 opportunities, and he's losing his job as the closer. High fly ball. Nick Swisher for the second out. Now his stuff hasn't diminished, but he blew a save, started to think about it. When you talk to people, they say that's the biggest thing when it comes to a closer. So you got to be able to bounce back because confidence is more important than anything.
I mean, look at your closers. Now, Mariano is different because he's such a calm, cool, collected guy, but they're like your fiery, crazy guy. Gossett snarling, and, you know, Eckersley had that, you know, he said he was scared to death, but he had that kind of tough guy look about him.
Al Hrabowski.
Al Hrabowski. You know, others that, you know, you just have to have that, and you have to maintain that consistency because of your behavior and your attitude. Not easy when you're failing. I also think too with Brad Lidge, I mean, he had some knee issue that he's not really talking about, and I just know. I mean, I actually had spoken to him earlier in the year, and you know, he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. But there's a lot of that little element to a guy's game where they won't admit to it. Certainly, pitchers need their legs.
Yesterday, Ryan Madson tried to close and served up a 2-run home run to David Wright to win the game for the Mets. So the Phillies' chances of repeating rest on whether or not they can straighten out the bullpen. And if you want to see when things started to go on the right track for the Yankees, Phil Hughes was inserted into the bullpen, and all of a sudden it became a strength for them. The Red Sox won the first game against Tampa Bay 3-1, and a doubleheader today. The second game is at 5 o'clock. The 0-2. He struck him out. That's a nice comeback inning for Phil Hughes. The last time he pitched, he served up a game-time home run. No runs ahead, no errors, and one man left. We're on the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees are up 5-3 on yes. More on car insurance.
Big moment for the Yankees and CC Sabathia after struggling early. Great play for Derek Jeter to go to his right. Excellent transfer, quick throw from Robinson Cano. That could play the game.
Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, Eric Hinsky here in the 8th. Great moment here at the stadium between innings.
Yeah, that's great.
They always play Al Leiter highlights to the great Paul Simon's You Can Call Me Al. And today they actually somehow spliced in, incorporated his sock demonstration. They got up on the scoreboard in a hurry, Al.
Yeah. You had nothing to do with that, did you?
I absolutely swear I had nothing to do with it. Johnny Damon works a walk. And that's going to bring up Teixeira, who is thrilled that Guthrie's out of the game. He was 0 for 3 and was hit by a pitch, struck out twice. Yankees would like some insurance runs for the 9th inning. They are up by 2, 5-3, trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. And a strike. Gardner pinch running for Johnny Damon. Rounded toward third. It's a foul ball. And Mariano Rivera is getting ready. I said Hinsky, but remember, Pena had taken over for Hinsky for defense. So now Pena is the cleanup hitter for the Yankees. Line drive, a base hit to right center field. Gardner hustles the third. He gets there easily. And the Yankees have runners on the corners and nobody out.
Sheriff fighting off this 0-2, middle of the plate slider, breaking into his bat, doing him a bit of a favor there, mistake-wise from Waters. And then the wheels are on for Brett Gardner, easily, obviously getting to third base. Nice base running.
Gardner has great speed, and that great speed gets him to third base easily. But now that he's at third, you've got Pena at the plate, who's a good bunter. Would they entertain the thought of a squeeze play for that extra run here in the 8th? Orioles have the infield in. Foul ball.
Well, I would say with nobody out now, it's not easy to do, but any kind of medium fly ball, forget about long fly ball, because of Gardner's speed out to the outfield. So what's going to happen here in cat and mouse is Waters is going to throw his ground ball pitch. On average, Major League batting averages go up about 100 points with the infield in, as the Orioles have it.
Pena is 4 out of 6 getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs. This year with runners in scoring position, Pena's .316.
You got to fight it off now with the two strike, 1-2 count. Just put it in play.
And the 1-2. Still 1-2.
Another mistake from Chris Waters. Slider middle of the plate up. Good pitch for him to be able to drive to the outfield. Gardner will be waiting, making sure that the ball goes through the infield with the infield in.
Runner was going, and Pena fouled it back.
Not a bad move unless they have a trick play with the 5% caught stealing rate Chad Muller has, even though Teixeira is not a base runner. Hope the throw. Maybe they go throw through. Gardner be on heads up on it.
And Pena pops it up. Chad Moeller for the first out. And that's going to bring up Matsui.
Field double play depth.
That one's drilled deep to right field. Going back, Markakis. Track, wall, see ya. 3-run home run. Hideki Matsui. And the Yankees lead 8-3. Matsui now with 81 runs batted in, 24th home run, all as a DH, and the Yankees have pulled away.
How about the day now? 2 last at bats. Matsui getting 5 RBIs out for the day. Hanging slider, middle of the plate, jumps all over it. 5 ribbies, 24th home run. What a day for Hideki Matsui.
Posada grounds one up the middle, stopped nicely by Asturias, and he takes a base hit away from the Yankee catcher. 2 outs. Matsui's first home run since August 23rd, so there's been a little bit of a drought. Here's Cano. Cano is 2 for 4. And a strike from Waters. Doubtful that they'll use Rivera in a non-save situation. And he has already taken a seat. It's Aceves and Bruni.
Well, one of them's getting work. We wouldn't have them both. Be warming up for the Orioles.
Cano does not want the Orioles to leave, ever. 3 for 5. And Dave Tremblay is going to take out Chris Waters. He signals for the right-hander. So we're going to step aside for just a moment. Cano is now 33 for 69, 478 against the Orioles. Waters departs.
Bass, I remember him.
when the Nets take on Kevin Garnett and the Celtics in a special preseason matchup at the Prudential Center in Newark. Get your first look at Devin Harris, Brooke Lopez, ejected, and the 2009-2010 Nets. Our coverage returns October 13th, right here on Yes. Bob McCrory will come on, the Orioles' fourth pitcher. You see his numbers, just 4 games with the O's this year. And with a runner on first, he's going to face Nick Swisher. The switch hitter will turn around to the left side. Swisher 1 for 4 today. So the Yankees are up 8-3. And it was 3-3, and then Matsui took over the game all by himself. 2-run single in the 6th, 3-run home run in the 8th. And the pitch outside.
The potency of the Yankee offense, of just how it's just so spread out, and when they're all locked in, they're nearly unbeatable. And just for opposing pitching coaches and pitchers coming in, it's just they're constantly battling from 1 through 9, and when they're right, it's really tough. Even when the outs are made, it's a battle. And then the length, you know, you get the guys in Matsui and the guys that maybe haven't had as a consistent year. Matsui's been more about injury and him feeling some of his ailments, his knee, and this makes it very tough to get through.
If you look at Matsui's numbers, Al, 24 home runs, and he now has 81 ribbies. Remember, he served as a pinch hitter in 8 of the 9 National League games in National League ballparks when there's no DH. He lost a lot of at-bats. He's had to sit down a couple times. His knee got drained. He's having a pretty good year. Hot shot, base hit. Cano will go to third. Swisher is on first with his second hit. Well, it should be fun tomorrow with the Angels coming to town for just 1 game. Because the Yankees have some things to prove to the Angels. Right before the All-Star break, that was a low point of the Yankee season when they lost 3 in a row to the Angels. They went into the break 3 back of the Red Sox. But then they stormed out of the gate after the break and just kept winning. But they have something to prove to the Angels. They have something to prove to themselves, and it starts tomorrow, and then they have 3 more games in Anaheim. A week from Monday, starting a week from Monday. Melky skies one to left field, and it's out of play.
And they're facing their best, Michael. Jared Weaver, 15-5 and 3.76. Job on the hill for the Yanks. So that if Jared Weaver is not the first pitcher coming out of the chute for their division series, set 1 or 2, I imagine he's probably their ace this year. The Lackey's come on back from his injury and he's pitched well.
That one's driven into left center field. It is going to be trouble. It gets past Reimold and goes to the wall. Cano scores. Here comes Swisher. He'll score. It's a 2-run double for Melky Cabrera. And the Yankees now lead 10-3. 4 RBIs on the day for Melky Cabrera.
Melky driving this pitch, middle of the way, head down, stays with it. He's able to get the barrel of the bat, stay left center field. Your number 9-hole hitter, 12 home runs, driving the ball the way they are. It's just fun to watch if you're a Yankee fan, how devastating this lineup could be, and Melky's done it pretty much all year long. Splitting the uprights, left field, Reimold getting it in quickly.
And here's Jeter as the Yankees bat around. Jeter, the 9th batter to come to the plate. So 5 RBIs for Matsui, 4 for Melky, and then 1 for Alex Rodriguez, and that's all 10 runs right there. And Alex Rodriguez's RBI came in the first inning. Big afternoon for Hideki Matsui. And the 4 ribbies for Melky Cabrera, that matches his season high in a game. And he has 63 on the season, usually batting from the number 9 hole in the Yankee lineup. It's a little bit more than a National League pitcher usually gets.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Well, but they can bunt. Maybe tomorrow's game, battle of the American League MVPs. Kendry Morales, the years he had, we thought he'd have as many home runs. Teixeira with the Yankees, Jeter, obviously throwing Joe Mauer, the Twins.
Clean it up there before the end of the game. So Jeter walks, and that puts runners on first and second. And Rick Kranitz will come out and talk with McCrory. And Brett Gardner, who pinch ran for Damon. Damon started the inning with a walk. He comes to the plate against McCrory, and they'll go over the way they want to pitch him.
Rick Kranitz was Joe Girardi's pitching coach at the Marlins. Long-time minor league pitching coordinator with the Cubs, where Girardi knew him. Kranitz taken over after Leo Mazzoni was the Oriole pitching coach. Well respected, Rick Kranitz. He's got his work cut out. A lot of young arms at the Orioles.
And the pitch to Gardner is a strike. A lot of action today. CC Sabathia is looking to pick up his 17th win. The 5 ribbies for Matsui, the 4 ribbies for Cabrera. Joe Girardi was ejected from the game, so was Alex Rodriguez, both for arguing a previous strikeout in the 4th inning. That one is laced to left field, giving chase. Reimold, but he can't get there, and it bounces into the seats. So Melky Cabrera will score. Jeter moves to third. It's a double and an RBI for Gardner, and the Yankees now lead 11-3.
It's going right for the Yankees. This little off the end of the bat. At that point, Gardner's just hoping that it stays fair. Reimold makes a nice effort here. Just stayed inside the foul line by about a foot. Going into the stands, a ground rule double. Maybe a couple feet.
Here's Mark Teixeira. 6 hits for the Orioles. 18 for the Yankees. And 6 runs for the Yankees here in the 8th. 11, 18, and 0. Grounded fair, past Wigginton and down the right field line. Jeter will score. Gardner will score. It's a 2-run double for Mark Teixeira, and the Yankees have a 13-3 lead.
Eight runs. 8 in the 8th. Blowing it open here.
Kelly Duncan is going to pinch run for Mark Teixeira. Teixeira gets a nice hand, and for Teixeira, his 2 ribbies give him 109 on the season. So the Yankees with an outburst here in the 8th inning. And now Dave Tremblay will come out and take Bob McCrory with him. Trying to stop the bleeding here at 13-3. So it looks like Clay Meredith is going to come in to face Ramiro Pena. Well, it was close. It was 5-3, and then the Yankees said enough, and now it's 13-3. We'll be back. Well, it's time to announce the Chevy player of the game is voted on by you, the fans, and the two of us here in the booth. Who is it, Al?
That is Hideki Matsui in the 6th inning with the game tied. These are the 2 go-ahead runs. And then in this inning, it's a 3-run homer, 5 RBIs on the night, the day, 81 RBIs for the season. Hideki Matsui, the Chevy player of the game.
So Clay Meredith comes on to try to get Ramiro Pena. You see Meredith's numbers this season. 68 hits in 57 and 2/3 innings. Pena does not want to go 0 for 2 in this inning. Earlier in the inning, he fouled out to the catcher. There's a ground ball and grabbed by Wigginton. And they just got him. Meredith just beat him out. And why is Meredith standing there?
Because he thought he got him.
But I thought the umpire called him out.
He's complaining.
I guess he called him safe.
Oh, yeah. He called him
safe. Wow, he did call him safe.
It's a foot race. See, quickly off Meredith is, and now it becomes a race, and good call. Mark Carlson made the right call. Safe.
Looked like he was going to call him out. That right hand was coming back, and then he stretched out for safe. So I apologize. I thought he made the out call. So here's Matsui. 3-run home run earlier in the inning. And that one's grounded foul.
Yankees just tee it off. Get big, healthy cuts.
Big day. 3 for 5 with 5 ribbies. Yankees are up 13-3. Matsui walks, and the Orioles simply cannot get the last out. And that'll bring up Posada.
It's one of those innings, if you're an Oriole pitcher, you try to make pitches, and you're obviously walking a guy in a game, a blowout 13-3, that you just say, you know what, I'm going to throw it right down the middle, see how far he can hit it.
Eight straight Yankees have reached base. Posada grounded to short earlier in the inning. So the bases loaded with the Yankees. 8 runs already in, 2 outs. And the count 1-1. And the count now 1-2.
Tell you, watching Bruni, he's throwing a complete game down there, getting ready to get in the ball game. Sometimes a pitcher, they're always part of the routine of throwing with 2 outs leading up to knowing that you're going to leave the bullpen. They have throwing a lot of pitches.
And the 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, right center. Markakis and Fiorentino. Markakis makes the call on the catch, and that'll do it. But not before the Yankees score 8 runs on 8 hits. No errors, and the bases are left loaded. Brian Bruni will come on to pitch the ninth.
Wow, it's thin.
Well, after the Yankees finish this game up with the Orioles, you can join Nancy Newman back in the studio for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame, featuring comprehensive analysis and highlights. And then Kim Jones has the quotes from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. And Brian Bruni deals to Justin Turner. We have a lot of changes for the Yankees. Almost a new defensive alignment, except for Cano. The 0-1. Again, if you're keeping score at home, the new outfield is Melky in left, Gardner in center, and Damon in right. Those are Bruni's numbers. And the infield, Hairston's at third, Pena at short, Cano at second, Swisher at first, Cervelli behind the plate, and Brian Bruni is on the mound.
It's an appearance for Brian Bruni. He's only given up 1 earned run in his last 13 appearances, but 8 walks in 11 and 2/3 innings. It's really for him to hone in. I know it's a 13-3 game, but you know, again, back to that making your pitch. Importance of throwing strikes, ever so important, paramount for a reliever to be coming in, obviously tight ball games, and getting ahead is important in any success of any pitcher, but especially a reliever. Got a little more room to dance around as a starter if you're behind in counts, and can always pitch your way back into the game.
The 2-2. And the count 3-2. And he walked him. Yankees have a 10-run lead, and he walked the leadoff batter. Certainly not trying to do that, but it does show you what Al just mentioned. He does not have great command since he's come off the DL. He's a different pitcher than he was last year. He still has very good stuff, but he could not throw a strike here.
See here with Cervelli. Now there's a 10-run lead. You would like to see just middle of the plate. I know he's still trying to make pitches, but the idea of going on a corner in a game like this, you have a pitcher who struggled 8 walks in the last 11 and 2/3 innings. Just you barreling for like something middle. Let him hit it. Here, let me see how far you can hit this ball. I'd rather give up a home run than a leadoff walk in this game. No question about it.
Popped up. Swisher calls off Bruni. 1 away.
And it's not easy. There's no doubt about it. If it was easy, there'd be an awful lot of people doing this. There's plenty of little leagues and different league levels to get to this point of Major League Baseball, the pinnacle of this industry. But that's where you try to get to. And whatever the components and elements of the physical and the mind and your preparation of being able to do your job. And that's when you hear athletes talk about that they're locked in or they're in the zone. Those are those moments.
The fastball's high to Fiorentino.
And then to identify too, Michael, you know, as a pitcher, you know the component within your delivery as to what it takes for you to get back to making pitches. Because Major League pitchers on the side, if you watch a bullpen, they nail it. 8 out of 10 times they'll hit the glove. That. So it's the reference to, okay, what if, you know, I just push the ball high, okay, stay back, allow my arm to get up, or whatever it is for each individual guy.
O'Brien has walked at least 1 in 7 of his last 10 games. His velocity is good though, so you would believe that everything's fine with the elbow. He went on the DL twice for that, but he is throwing 95. That one is skied into center field. Gardner makes the play, and the Yankees are 1 out away from salvaging the final game of this 3-game set. Michael Aubrey is going to pinch hit for Brian Roberts. Top of the 9th, and there are 2 men out. Runner at first base for the O's, and Swisher not holding on turn. 13-20-0 for the Yanks, 3-6-0 for the O's. Strike. And the 0-1.
Now just watching Cervelli, Mike, Cervelli went fastball in, he shook him through a slider, throws it for a strike. Then he threw a fastball in, and again Cervelli called the changeup. He threw a changeup there. But then, you know, you say, well, geez, you know, again, it's up by a lot of runs. There's also a component for a guy like Bruni to work on pitches in a game that he hasn't been comfortable with. See, these are his sliders, 87 mile an hour. It looks more like a cutter, less break. And that's good too. You know, again, it's a blowout game, lopsided 10-run lead. But if there are certain pitches you need to work on, and you know that you're going to need that in a close ball game, that's okay. Throw it.
Now the count 3-1 on the pinch hitter Aubrey. And the pitch. And now the count is full at 3-2. Yankees led 1-0 after 1. The Orioles took a 2-1 lead, then built it to 3-1. Yankees tied it with 2 in the fourth, 3-3, and a 2-run single by Matsui in the sixth broke the tie, and then the Yankees broke it open with 8 in the eighth, and 13-3 Yanks. Runner goes, and the pitch is inside, so Bruni has walked 2 here with a 10-run lead. 13 runs for the Yankees. It's the 21st time this year the Bombers have scored in double digits. And how about this? Tony Pena just signaled out to the bullpen. I guess, Al, he just doesn't want to watch this.
Well, it's a huge no-no. 10-run lead. He's not trying to walk anybody, of course, but you know, you got to be better than that. You can't do that. It happens, but yeah, it's unacceptable.